Hi everyone! Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another painting tutorial. Welcome to my channel if you're new. I just switched my sentences. Before I would say, if you're new, welcome to my channel. So here we go again with another painting tutorial, and today I'll be doing a landscape because I've been missing doing my landscape paintings. It's been a while since the last time I did a landscape, I think. I've been doing a lot of still life paintings and object paintings. So now let's do something a little bit different, or not usual from the usual ones this past few days. So here are the colors that I'll be using for today's painting tutorial, although they will be listed in the description box below as well. We have primary blue, sap green, lemon yellow, burnt sienna, titanium white, and black. So as you can see here, most of the colors, if not all, are earth colors because, again, we'll be doing a landscape. So as you can see here, my canvas is already painted gray. This is not the background color that we want for this landscape painting, but this is an old painting that I don't like anymore. So I usually do that to my old paintings. I just paint over them because old paintings for me are just part of my painting journey, and I always keep a photo of them, so they're not really lost forever. So we will be changing the background color for this canvas, and since we'll be doing some landscape, I chose some forest with some light play because that's my favorite subject. So I'm going to change the background now. Disregard the gray color. It's not necessary for you guys to actually have a gray canvas. It's just my way of covering the painting underneath. So let's begin the underpainting for this painting. And I'll be using my white. Okay, get your white. I'll be adding a little bit of brown just to tone the whiteness down, Okay. I'll be adding a little bit of blue, like this color. So I'll be adding a little bit more white. Okay. So just make it a little off-white. You don't want super white at the moment. So let's begin underpainting the background. I think I got a little more blue, but it's all right. It's just the underpainting anyway. All right. So if you're wondering why I'm only covering the centermost part of the canvas, that's because the sides will be filled with foliage. So we really don't want to waste our paint covering them, covering this two sides. We'll be painting over using a different color for that. All right. Now I want you to get your brown, get your burnt sienna. I did not wash my brush, if you noticed that. I'm just gonna get a tiny amount of black. All right, so make it dark brown, and I'm gonna add a little bit of white just to make it more pastel color. I'm gonna use this to create the pathway or the soil part for this forest. I don't know if you can see that, maybe not on camera, it's too dark, I think. Again, just brown, white, and black all together. Okay, that's too light. Okay, now I'm gonna use this brownie color here, right here, but I'm gonna add more white and a little bit of green, like this. More brown. This will serve as the background foliage, but the background foliage will not be the detailed foliage that we're actually going for. This is just the background, a suggestion of what's in the background, all right? The detailed most part of this painting will be the foreground. So just, if you're following along, just do as I do, and this will make sense later. As I always tell my viewers, most of my paintings don't really make sense at the initial stage, because they're not supposed to make sense at the initial stage. That's how the painting process goes. It's gradual. All right. Remember that these are background foliage, so don't you worry too much if you're not seeing any leaves here. These are just colors. All right, okay. Definitely not making sense, but I'm gonna get my brown. I'm gonna mix it with the existing color that we have here. I'm just gonna add a little bit of white. Okay. Maybe a little bit of yellow, because we're starting to identify where the light is gonna go, and that is definitely in the middle. So I'm gonna use this color to create some light patterns in the background, guys. We're doing the background. Don't think that this is the foreground. This is just a suggestion of what may be found in the background or in the distant part of the forest. Okay, all right. All right. Okay, it's really abstractish. All right, now I'm gonna use the same color. This time I'll be adding more brown and a little bit of black. Make sure that it's visible to the eye. You can add a little bit of yellow just to make it more light. Maybe this color. And I'm gonna use this to identify where the pathway is gonna go. And then just fill in that space with the same color. I might use, or I think I will be using my palette knife later. It's not a probability. It's actually a certainty that I'll be doing, or I'll be using a palette knife. Or like that. To create the roughness on the soil later. Okay? Alright, while we're at it, I'm just gonna get my green, sap green. Get your sap green. I'm gonna add a little bit of black to make some dark green color. And I'm gonna use this brush to create some foliage background or underpainting along the sides of the forest. You can add a little bit of brown. Also here. Again, we're still in the underpainting process. Nothing is detailed here. Everything is raw. Okay, like that. Okay. Now I'm gonna use a round stiff brush just to create more foliage in the background. It's just a round stiff brush that I bought from a store in Korea. So it's just get yourself some Q-tips. You can do that, you can use that. So I'm just gonna use this one to apply more foliage in the background. So I'm using my Sap Green. I'm gonna add burnt sienna to darken the color. I'm gonna add a little bit of black just to make it more dark, and I'm gonna start dabbing in, or maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of blue, kind of like the blueness of the primary blue. I'm gonna add a little bit of white. Okay, so maybe this color, and I'm gonna use this dark green color to add some foliage right here. Again, you can use Q-tips that are bundled together. Some people use that. I don't want to waste my Q-tips for that. In all honesty. But you can use that. Definitely you can. You can use whatever materials that you have. I'm just saying that for myself. Not really suggesting you to use a particular type of paintbrush. I'm not like that. Alright, like that. So this will serve as the first layer of foliage. Alright, now I'm gonna dab onto my yellow right here. And I did not wash my brush, as you can see. I'm gonna add white and then brown. So it's like this color, more yellow. So I'm gonna use this color again. It's like muted green or muted yellow to apply in the background, because the background colors should be a little more muted than highlighted, because they're in the background. They're not supposed to be visible or clear to the eye. They're only suggestive of what is in the background. Okay, I'm gonna use the same color right here, but I think I'm gonna add more green. Okay, all right, so that's basically the background foliage. We'll be adding more foliage later. Just wait, you guys. We'll be going to that part. So now let's do some tree trunks, because this is what I'm excited about. This will make the painting more what do you call that? This will make sense, or this will give the painting more sense to what we're doing. So I'm just gonna get my burnt sienna right here. I'm gonna add a little bit of black, yellow, again more black, like this color. It's like dark brown. Again, yellow, just add yellow. And then I'm gonna use this to start creating the tree trunks. Alright. Okay, next. Okay, I'm gonna add more black. In all honesty, I really don't know what time we'll finish, but I don't mind. It's a Saturday here, so I can do whatever it is that I want. To add a little more. These are like thin or thinner trunks. You can use a different brush. My brush is really not that fine. Okay, more trunks in the background. Right, like that. Okay, let me check. All right, so this is definitely making sense now, guys. So I'll be adding more foliage later once the paint is dry. But let's start to create some details on the tree trunk. So I'll be using my black. All right, I'll be using a black, the one that we've been using um, for the other branches. So I'm just gonna add some details on the tree trunks. Okay. I'm gonna create some gray color right here. And I'm gonna apply that right here. Okay. All right. I want to add more foliage, so I'm gonna get my foliage brush, I call it. It's not really scientific, but I call it foliage brush because it's just a round stiff brush that are grouped together. The bristles are grouped together in such a way that they are round and they are stiff. So I'm gonna dab onto my green and yellow and black, just mix them all together. And I'm gonna use this to create more foliage. So now we're painting over the tree trunks that we just applied. And that is because we follow nature. Nature is quite random. It doesn't follow any symmetry, right? Most of the time it's not really symmetrical. I'm gonna dab onto my black. All right, this black color will give some depth and volume to the foliage. I don't think my foliage are volume up and volume up. I think they are not really thick. All right, for the lack of a better word. Right. Also, don't forget the soil part. Just add a little bit of black. And now we add dabs of black along the pathway. This will serve as the depths and indentations on the soil, making the soil a little more natural looking, you know, following nature. Okay, I got it. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna get my yellow without washing my brush. I'm just gonna apply a bit of yellow. And here, more black. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna get my brown. I'm gonna add white. So it's like this color. I'm gonna add yellow. I'm gonna dab it on right here. Okay, using dark browns. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna use my ordinary brush. Okay, before I use that, I'll be using my fan brush to create more foliage in the background. So I'm not wetting my fan brush, just gonna dab on directly to my sap green right here. Okay, and I'm gonna add blue and brown, okay, to mute the color. And I'm gonna use this to create more foliage in the background. You can add any color that will add to the depth and volume of the foliage. Okay, I'm gonna get my yellow to create some yellow green. All right, like that. Let me check. Okay, so definitely we're starting to create more foliage, but you know me guys, I'll be adding more. All right. Now I'll be getting my white. So I think I need more white. I already ran out of white. So I'm gonna use my white. Okay, and mix that with the green and yellow color. So I'll be adding more white this time to really create light play. So I'm gonna dab on a little bit of that color here and there, especially right or near the center of my canvas. And I'm just gonna use it and spread it like this. Here. So I'm gonna paint in between the branch, in between the tree trunks, and of course the branches as well. Some light green to suggest that the light is present in that area. Okay. I'll be using a thinner brush. Okay. This time I'll be using my white. I'm just gonna highlight some trees. Actually, I should not be using pure white. I'll be adding a little bit of brown to that. We don't want to use pure white here. Not yet. Okay, so I'm just gonna paint over here. All right. Making some light brown colors. The light is coming from the left side. So the light is coming from here, but since it's coming from here, the highlighted portion of the trees on the left side is actually their right side. I hope that makes sense, guys. So for this side, the highlighted portion will be the left side, okay? But for here, the highlighted portion will be the right side. Okay, now I'm gonna get this brownie color. I'm gonna add more white. So I'm gonna add more yellow and white. I'm gonna use this to highlight the center that I am referring to, the source, the light source. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of that color and then use my fingers to spread the paint quite evenly on a circular motion, and try to be imagine you're looking at the sun in an afternoon in a very good day, on a very good day. So imagine the light source. So again, I'm just gonna use this to create more light. This is like dry brushing. Actually, it is dry brushing. I'm gonna use to highlight the center. Okay, I'm gonna use my white to emphasize even more the light source. Like that. And then we're going to apply some shadow here, or some, yeah, shadows. So I'm gonna use my white and then brown. And we're going to apply it right here. Okay, now I'm gonna dab onto my brown. Get your brown, just pure brown, and I'm gonna use that to create a little bit of patterns on those highlighted portion. Also here. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna get my white. Just add hints of white. Here, apply some hints of white. White and blue. I think I got a lot of blue today. I'll just be using that to create more foliage. So I'm gonna get my blue, sky blue. So add white to your blue, and I'm gonna apply some hints of light blue or sky blue in between the foliage, so that There's some suggestion of sky in the background. Okay, I'm gonna get my white. Alright, now I'm gonna get my light brown. Okay. To lighten some of the tree trunks that we see here. Especially near the center. Just lighten it. Okay, now I'm gonna add black. I'm gonna get my black. I'm just gonna apply some black colors to create more depth. To create more depth. All right. Okay, now let's get our palette knife. This is my favorite part, I think, because we'll be using our palette knife and we're not yet actually done with the foliage. I don't mind spending 2 hours for this, but I don't think I'll be spending 2 hours. So I'm just gonna dab onto my existing brownie color here. I don't mind the mixing of the blue because it just creates more natural look. So I'm gonna get my light brown and the combination of everything. I'm just gonna dab on a little bit of white to create this muddy looking color. And I'm just gonna apply it like this. Right here. Oops, if it doesn't look good, just delete that. So I'm just gonna get my towel, just delete that. Like that. Okay, now I'm gonna get my black. And in the same manner, I'm just gonna apply it using my palette knife. Like this. Okay, and then this time I'm gonna dab onto my green, add blue and brown. Like that. Okay, now I want to create more details on the tree trunks. So I'm gonna dab onto my gray. The gray that I have here, I'm just gonna add more white and brown. So it's like this. Just mix everything together. I'm just mixing everything that I have here. And I'm just gonna apply it on my trees. give it natural look. Okay, I'm gonna get my black. I'm gonna add brown. And in the same manner, I'm just gonna apply it on tree trunks. In here. Okay. I'll be adding more foliage, so I'm gonna get my green, maybe a little more yellow. Just have fun doing the foliage, guys. You can never have enough foliage for this. I mean, you should not really cover the whole painting with foliage because that would be really weird. But just have fun layering, because I think it's the joy of painting landscapes, especially forest type of landscapes. Gives you a lot of freedom to do how many foliage you want, because it's uncountable. You cannot really count those foliage. Okay. Now I want to add a little bit of orangey color. It's not really a fall type of painting, but just get your orange, a little bit of orange. And I'm gonna use a tiny amount of orange. All right, just get a tiny amount of orange to add to some of the leaves. It's not really that obvious, but I want to add a little bit of that color. These are like dried leaves that are still on the trees, and I think it's good to add a little bit of that color to add more natural look to this painting. And even on the soil, just add a little bit of that color. Again, we're not painting a fall scene. We're painting more of a summer. By the way, guys, I haven't told you why I'm doing this. I'm going to Taiwan, to Taipei in the summer for a scholarship. So I'll be there. I'll be staying there for 6 months, and I'm just so excited because I got accepted. I only found out I think 3 days ago, and I was so thrilled about it when I found out. I was so excited. I was really busy after knowing that I was accepted for the scholarship. So I will do my best to do a lot of tutorials while I'm still here, because my university in Taiwan will be starting the course in June. So I still have few more, like a couple of months to spend for tutorials every weekend. So I'll do my best to still keep up with my YouTube, even if I'm studying there. So I'll be uploading still. my tutorials, but I'll be filming them in advance. So just letting you guys know now. All right, I don't want to surprise you. So I'm just gonna get more white. I'm gonna add a little bit of white color in between the tree trunks that we have here to suggest more light. Okay, again, light. Suggestion of light in between foliage. You know how much I love painting the light. It's my favorite subject. It's my favorite subject. I can paint it forever. Okay, just add more. More here. Some more highlights. Okay, now I think I'm gonna add more yellow. I'm gonna get more yellow because I already ran out of yellow. And I'm gonna use my yellow, all right? I'm allowing some white paint to mix with my yellow to, okay. I'm going to apply some yellow right here on the foliage near the center or near the light source. Okay, and then I'm applying just pure yellow here and there. Oops. Okay, now I need more green. I want this to be really, okay, I need more green and blue. Like this color, guys, this color. It's like turquoisey color because nature has this color as well. So I'm gonna use this turquoisey color to add, okay, excuse my water bucket. To add more, okay, I'm gonna add more white. Like that. More of that color. Because when you look closely at a forest scene, it's not just about green and yellow and brown. There's also some sort of blue, especially when the light is hitting the forest. So always remember to look closely at the colors of nature so that you understand why I'm doing, you know, what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of that turquoisey color right here. All right. Now I'm gonna get my yellow. Get your yellow and kind of go around the light source. So just apply a little bit of that color right here. Okay. Now, I'll be using my white, okay? I'll be using a dab of white and we'll be glazing. Like that. Okay, that's nice. Oops, it almost slipped my hand. Okay, like that. Let me check. Okay. I'm gonna add a little more foliage because I just can't, I just can't not obsess over foliage. Okay, I'm gonna create some tiny branches. Okay, I'm gonna get my black. And I'm gonna apply some patches on the foreground like this. Alright, like that. Okay, more white. I'm gonna apply some yellow orange, but I'm gonna add brown to tone down the color. Right, like that. Okay. I need to lighten this up because this looks really weird. Just lighten it to be consistent with our light play. Right, some light. Let me check. Okay. I'm gonna get more brown because I already ran out of brown. I'm just gonna apply some brownie colors. black. All right. Some black color right here on the right side of the trees. Okay, let me check. Okay, this is good. Okay, I'm gonna use my fan brush. You know me, guys, I'm just obsessing now. I'm gonna dab onto my yellow-green color. I'm gonna add a little bit of blue to make it more muted, or to make it more blue-green, not muted. I'm gonna add tiny bit of brown and white, maybe green, yellow. So all the colors that I have here, I'm just gonna use this to add more highlighted foliage. Very gently. Okay, using my fan brush, I'm gonna get my sap green. I'm gonna add black. Sap and black and more foliage. Okay, I'm just gonna make some more detailing right here. And more highlights. Like that. Okay. Just glazing this area so that it really suggests that it's being hit by the light. Like that. Okay. Whoa. And also here, a little bit of glazing. Right. To make it more blurry looking. Also here, just glaze it. Giving it the effect of blurriness, creating some light. Okay, let me check. All right, I kind of like this one. Okay, so I'm gonna sand this now because yeah, this is amazing, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna sign this now. I'm really happy with this one. So I'm gonna sign using my white, and I'm gonna, you see, I got a lot of blue here. I'm gonna sign right here. Yahoo! Oh my gosh, this is good. Alright, we're done, guys. So see you in my next video. If you like this one, let me know please in the comment section below, or tag me on your post so that I know if you followed along with me. And yeah, let me know what you have to say about this painting tutorial, and comment in the comment section below what do you want me to paint next for you guys. Love you.